There are motivated sellers sitting in your market right now. But if your list isn't built the right way, you'll never even know that they exist. After hosting over 1,000 off market deal trainings, Matt Kamp has seen firsthand what separates random data from a true list of motivated sellers, whether you're targeting land or single family homes. In this episode, he breaks down the full framework for building a top performing list in any market, showing you exactly how to filter for opportunities that actually lead to deals. You'll watch him build a list live inside of DealMachine and learn how to uncover property data, owner data, and seller motivation to uncover the prospects who are ready to sell.
Coming on here today, the end topic is how to build a top performing list inside DealMachine. Getting in there and being able to say, like, hey, yeah, here's what's working. Like, I've done actually, it's crazy to look back, over 1,000 of these off-market deal trainings so far since joining DealMachine like 5 years ago, right? So I have, am always listening to you guys, what's working, what's not, how do I continue to relay that to you so that way you guys can continue to learn and pivot and make good choices on how to go out there and identify opportunities in any market. That is where we get this playbook from, is listening to you all and saying, hey, great, here's what's working, and try to enable all of you to go out there and do so. So it's, okay, how do you take an entire market, identify the opportunities in that market that are actually going to sell, and then take that and go, give you tools for outreach and go actually make deals happen. My whole goal over here is to today, again, to go through, really focus on that list building side. That's the first question we always get. Go in there and help you think through those three different sources of data: the property owner, homeowner data, and then the contact information. How to build a list and pull out those diamonds in the rough of the individuals in any market that are most likely to do deals. That's what my goal will be today. We'll actually go through live, like I'll screen share and show you DealMachine live on, okay, here's how to think through this. Really, list building in general, I want to mention, is there's no perfect list, right? It's an art and a science. So I would much rather teach you to fish than hand you a fish, right? I'm not going to say, hey, here's the silver bullet list no one knows about, right? That outperforms everything. Here is the framework, the method to really take time to get dialed in and get better and better at this. I'll actually ask for some volunteers here we'll build a list live with you, so that way you can get this kind of done on the spot for you, so you can come out of the call with your list ready to go. And to start off with, to give you a live example of this, I'd love if the first person, I'll check in the chat, first person that gives me a zip code in the chat. So Andrew will be the first example here for the call today. First thing, if you're a more advanced investor, you can replace this with a city or a county. If you're doing like a broader list here, right? But especially for the newbie, I highly recommend choosing a zip code 30067. It looks like. Property type. So Andrew, I'm going to assume single family, but do you have any other property types that you're focused on? Land. Oh, land. Okay, cool. Nice. Well, this could work for land or single family. I'll do, we can start with land. That works. So land, you can be really focused. Land is one, Andrew. For everybody in here, this is where, a lot of times from a land perspective, you might actually want to start with a county, because very quickly we're down to 277 properties, right? So you can either approach all of the vacant land in that zip code. Hey, that's an option. Or if you want to follow this methodology, you're going to want a larger area, right? So a larger, city or county to be able to work with here. And it's the same exact process here, but we're going to be doing zip code or county. Andrew, for this example, man, I'd love to start with a single family focus, Cobb County. Okay, there we go. You know what? We can do land first. That's fine. Let's do land first. So we'll do Cobb County. So everybody who's doing land, you've got this as your example. If you are doing again single family, do this but at a zip code level. So that's the major difference here. So we'll do land for you here, Andrew. Cobb County. Let's do property type. So everybody in here, you're choosing an area, you're choosing a property type, so vacant land, awesome. And then from here, you're going to choose off market. So we're looking to go direct to seller, right? We're looking for those properties that the seller is not raising their hand already and going the retail route. Like, we're looking for the 10% of the market that doesn't want to go the retail route. And so, where you go find that, you can click on more and then type in market status. We do have a quick filter with off market, but I'd rather go this route. I'll explain that later. So if you do market status, off market, here we go. Cool. So we got vacant land off market in your county. Again, if you're doing single family, do single family off market in your zip code. So very similar. A lot of zip codes will actually probably end up with a similar property count at this point too, if you're doing single family. So there we go. So Andrew, following along here, single family is perfect too. Okay, hey, well we're already going down the land road, so we'll do this with both and show you guys the differences. So great, we've got property type, zip code, off market, great. At this point as well, if you're really honed in on one particular marketing strategy, like if you're really focused, especially on cold call or SMS, at this level inside inside the map, I would also recommend layering on. There's two major data points that are going to really help you optimize your list with us. That would be contact has a phone number, right? So it'll only show you the properties that we have a phone number. So again, if you're focused on calling, if you're focused on SMS, put in this filter, contact has phone number. Great. So if you're a newbie, that this might be too much information. That's okay. I want you to be focused, but especially the more advanced investor, throw on that contact has a phone number, and then do and contact is likely property owner right here. So from the way that our skip trace data works is again, it's tied to the person, not the property. So that is a major leg up on, scrubbing out family members, scrubbing out renters, not for land, but for single family, scrubbing out the non-decision makers. So what we're looking at here is we're going to have, again, the area, off market, and property type. And then, again, if you're going to focus on cold call and or SMS, especially, do contact his phone number and is likely the owner. So that's that base layer for you right there. Again, if you're a newbie, you're like, hey, I'm going to mail, I'm going to do whatever. I don't need to call or whatever. That's okay. Don't do these last two. I don't want to overcomplicate it. I mean, again, focus and taking action is the most important part. But if you're following along and you're like, yeah, I want to optimize my list for that marketing strategy, especially throw on has a phone number, throw on is the property owner. So we're speaking to the decision maker. Great. From here, again, we nailed that first base layer. Second level we talked about was property data. So what about the property itself would indicate, hey, this could be, something that fits my buy box, that fits my cash buyer's buy box, that, is a property I can take action on if they actually call me back or if I actually get in touch with them. And so, Andrew, if you're in a spot, I don't know if you have any, let's see here, any buy box for land, any buy box criteria. I mean, we have some pretty interesting stuff when it comes to land. You can look at like lot size, lot width, lot depth. We even have things like zoning, flood zone. So, land information right here. Here you go. So let me know if there's anything about the land itself that would fit your buy box. If you don't have anything, that's okay. For single family, what I would recommend if you're following along on that front, and this actually for land too, some of these would apply, but price point is interesting. Like I see a lot of people put a cap, right? Like nothing over this amount or nothing below this amount, right? Like a cap on your min or your max. I see equity. I see age of house. So like, if you're looking at single family, hey, if you want to eliminate the new builds, put in year built right here. So, you could say, hey, show me everything that the year built is less than 2010 or 2020, right? So you're pulling out those new builds, you're getting rid of those. That increases the likelihood of them looking to sell. The people are, the brand new builds, again, they could sell. Something could have went wrong, but less likely to sell. So I would say scrub out those new builds in that way. Again, it's similar to size of lot, you can do size of house. So you could do square footage of living area. That's another great part of your buy box. You could look at a certain range or above this, or put some parameters around your size of house. So when I say buy box, again, if you're wholesaling, it's great if you've got a couple cash buyers that that you've built a relationship with and you know what they're looking for. Reverse wholesale, reverse engineer that, throw that in the filters here. They are looking for a certain area, certain size, that kind of stuff. If you're looking for your own property, hey, again, try to really hone in on what your buy box looks like. If you don't know where to start, just eliminate the new builds, and that alone will be helpful if you're focused on single family here. So, all of those things I would recommend thinking about. Let's see. Andrew said lot size, half an acre. Cool. I like it. Okay. So lot size, half an acre or more, I'm assuming. Um, let's see. Lot size in acres. greater than or equal to, I would say, I think 0.5. Let's see what we get here. Yeah, there we go. Awesome. So I've got greater than or equal to 0.5 in acres. Let me know if that's right, man. That looks great. I would say again, if you're on the single family side, this one's for single family especially. I would highly recommend thinking about, and I saw we have a few new people jumping in the chat, so let me throw these back in here too. My tips and resources here, guys. So awesome. Welcome to the call. Here we go. Perfect. Um, so Andrew, let me know if there's anything else in terms of buy box, but we're in a really good spot right here with 2,998 properties that fit all these filters right there. Length of ownership, there you go. That's another one, Matt. Great, love that one. So last sale date, that is a really, really good one where you can jump in here and last sale date, if I can type that, there we go. If they have recently sold it, again, less likely to look to sell again. Probability wise, last sale date is a really good correlation to if it's a deal or not, or if they're looking to sell sooner than later. That's who we're trying to pick out, right? So Andrew, over 10 years, love it. So last sale date, more than 10 years ago. Let's try it out. Perfect, cool. All right, man. A lot of recently sold land there. And then under 90K. I love it. So let's try price point is max 90K, see what we get. 150, man, I mean, that right there is a pretty darn good niche land list right there for you. From a land perspective, again, removing the recently sold, filtering by likely owner, and has a phone number. Andrew, does the phone number matter to you? I want to know that. Are you going to call or text or anything? Market status is right here for you. So off market is what I put in for you and for everybody. Yes, number matters. I text. There we go. Perfect. So Andrew, I think it's a really good place to be. The last thing here is if this was like, a couple thousand properties or even a couple hundred, and you want to get more niche. The last final step that I mentioned, so it's baseline, it's property data, and then property data, and then it's seller motivation data. What that means is go into your quick filters up here. And for everybody on here, and again, I'll do this one more time, but for single family specific, quick filters on here, I would recommend throwing on a handful of them. That's why we went in and put in market status is equal to off market, is now we've got all this criteria. And if I go in my quick filters and I don't turn on match all, you could say things like, hey, you know what? Show me all the things that are either expired or it's an out of state owner or it's vacant, may not be as relevant for this list, but tax delinquent or pre-foreclosure or, just a 8 or 9 of these more timely filters, right? That indicate, hey, they might be looking to move sooner than later, right? They might be looking to sell sooner than later. So out of all these quick filters, there's 16 properties. Again, that's too niche, but just as an example, there's 16 properties here that are one or more of these tags, right? So that's again the goal. That's a final cherry on top. Is if you're looking for urgency, if you're looking to say, yeah, I want properties that are vacant land up to 90K in value. They are off market. I have their number. I can reach the decision maker. The lot size is greater than or equal to a half, and they haven't sold for a while. And I want to get now also layer on a motivation that indicates, hey, they are dealing with something and maybe looking to sell sooner than later. Throw on a handful of these, and there you go. You've got a really, really high performing, awesome list in any market that follows the framework. It goes through, starts with the baseline, goes to then the property level, thinks about your buy box, and then layers on urgency there. So that right there is the process. Andrew, I'd probably stop here, the 150. I would hit build list, confirm build. And that's a great place to just pull your list, right? I mean, that's already pretty darn niche. If you're doing SMS at a broad scale, you could do things like, throw on 4 more counties, right? And build a list based on that. Like now that you've gone through this, big pro tip, let's save yourself time, save this filter. So go to save filter. And now anytime you jump in DealMachine, you can apply a save filter that we just went into, and I'll name this Andrew's list right here. It'll automatically apply all of those filters in the future. So if I like jump into DealMachine fresh and I'm back up to however many thousand of properties that were on there, great. Go to more, save filters, and apply my saved, and now it's all back on there. So that'll save you a ton of time over the long run.
Thanks for listening to the Deal Machine Real Estate Investing Podcast. Please leave us a review and follow along wherever you're listening to your podcast.